The 10 rods I'm about to talk about in this video absolutely 100% need a buff. Either they're too expensive or just not good enough or just downright trash because of maybe a recent incident. These rods just need to be buffed as soon as possible. Fish, this is a direct message from me to you. Anyways, if you guys agree with this list or like it at all, make sure to subscribe. Okay, so the first rod on my list, I'm sure you guys are all gonna agree with, is the Arctic rod. This rod recently just got nerfed into the freaking ground. It has a lure speed of 25% now, which is just, it's not good for 25,000. Like, you might as well just save up 45,000 and get the depth seeker rod. But yeah, you know, I'm just saying, at least give us half, right? Give us kind of half of what the Arctic rod have. I don't know why you had to make it completely trash. We could go half. Like, how about we split it in the middle and it could be kind of trash, kind of good. All right, anyways, you guys probably know about the Arctic rod already. On to the next one. The next one is one I am an absolute ambassador of, and it is the Seraphic rod. Dude, this rod used to be crazy. Like, it literally had a 99 lure speed whenever this little thing popped up. So boom, let's say I catch a fish and it comes up with this like huge like blazing thing. This used to basically insta catch fish. Dude, can we get that back? I mean, I get it, right? Like, oh, we can't have it too OP. Brother, it is a level 1000 rod. I grind your game for 500 hours. Please just let me have an OP rod, man. But yeah, I want kind of like at least halfway. Once again, like I don't need it to be OP, but can we at least go half OP? I mean, brother, it is a level 1000 rod. Like, please let me have this, all right? Speaking about having things in fish, this next rod is very hard to have because it has a very hefty price tag. And if you didn't know from how many hefties I just said, I'm talking about the Ethereal Prison Rod. This rod literally costs 15 million credits, and yes, I will say it's really good. All right, it's really good, but can we put the price down like 5 million? I'm not gonna lie, can we please put the price down 5 million? Because I'm 90% sure you guys are probably gonna nerf it, and instead of nerfing it, how about we either leave it as is, or if you nerf it, please just like make it cheaper. Like, don't nerf this rod. First of all, Fish, if you're watching this, please don't nerf this rod. Give it a buff, make it a little bit cheaper. It's a little bit expensive, all right? Speaking about things that are expensive, this one's not expensive for people who are really experienced at the game, but for beginners, this rod is very hard to get. I am talking about the Rod of the Depths, all right? This is a classic rod. It's 65% lure speed, 130% luck, yada yada, all right? The stats are okay. And yes, it also does have a really good passive, the little ghost passive, and I love that passive with all of my heart. I'm very passionate about that passive. The only problem is this, all right? The Rod of the Exalted one is free. Like, yeah, it does kind of take a while to get the relics, and you can technically get all the relics if you just trade for them, which is why I think the Rod of the Exalted one is not a hard rod to get. And dude, the stats are better than the Rod of the Depths, which it shouldn't be like that. It's a free, 100% free rod. I mean, besides the relics, but no, can we please make the Rod of the Depths a little bit better to at least beat out the Rod of the Exalted one? Along with that, the Zeus rod is barely it's not even 3 times the price. It's like 2.5 times the price of the Rod of the Depths. And if you guys know, you know that the Zeus rod is really good right now. But anyways, let's get into the 5th rod of the video. It is the Hasty Heavens rod. Not the Hasty Heavens rod, but the Heavens rod in general. First of all, the fact that you always need hasty no matter what on this rod is kind of like, do I really want to get hasty every time I use this rod? No. Secondly, I get it has 225% luck. We need to bump that up, all right? You can, here are my 2 options for you, Fish. Either please bump up the lure speed, because it should take me literally less than half a second to catch, especially when I have hasty on a rod that cost 1.75 million. And yeah, I mean, the luck is good, 225, but brother, I feel like, I don't know why, if it's just me, every time I try to catch an exotic with this rod, it just doesn't deliver ever. So I don't know. Me personally, I think the Hasty Heavens rod, not the Hasty Heavens rod, but the Hasty Heavens rod, it needs a little bit of a buff, all right? Just a teensy weensy bit of a buff. And now onto a rod that I actually kind of did just talk some garbage about. It is the rod of the exalted one. And no, I'm not saying you need to make the stats better, but you need to make its chances of catching exalted relics better. I have 0 exalted relics in my inventory, and I do farm with this rod. Like, I do constantly fish with this rod and try to catch exalted relics. The only problem about it is that even if you have the rod of the exalted one, if you want to catch a relic, it is a 1 in 800 chance. Do you know how long it takes to fish 800 times? That is a long time without even a guarantee of actually getting one. So I think that needs a huge buff. Like, I don't care if you make the stats like half as good. Like, I don't care if the stats are garbage on it, to be honest. Like, dude, I only have this rod to catch exalted relics. So can we please let the rod do its job? Anyways, on to the next one. I actually am passionate about that one. And I also am about this one. Brother, the no life rod, it's good, right? Like, it's good, I will say. it's very good. But compared to some of the Atlantis rods, like the Tempest rod and right now the Zeus rod, but you know, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to leave that for another video. Dude, the Atlantis rods are better, and you don't have to be level 500 for them. So I'm just saying, since this rod is so good, right? Either make this rod better or nerf some of the Atlantis rods. I don't care how you do it, but the no life rod right now is not as good as it should be for being a level 500 rod. Yeah, anyways, we are now on to number 3, which is the rod of the Zenith. And yeah, this needs a huge buff, and there's a reason I don't have this rod. It costs $10 million. Not only does it cost $10 million, but its stats aren't $10 million good. I mean, literally for an extra $5 million, you can get the really good rod, the ethereal prism rod. But dude, 85% lure speed, I mean, okay, 145% luck, 0.15 control. It's not doing it for me. Plus, it doesn't even have a really good ability. Like, it's not worth it. So for that one, I'm gonna say either drop the price or, dude, just make the rod a little bit better, man. Like, actually worth $10 million, because I'm pretty positive it is not. Like, do not buy that. Even if you have 30 million, don't buy that rod. Wait till they drop it. Now on to the next one. This is an OG rod, just like the no life rod, just like, actually no, that's the only OG rod I've mentioned, but this one is a very OG rod. I'm talking about the King's rod. All right, this rod, right, you may be surprised when you look at the stats, negative 45% lure speed. But guys, this rod cost 125,000 credits. If that sounds insane, it's because it is, and Fish either needs to drop the price or please at least make the lure speed better. All right, this is an OG rod. Can we at least treat it with some respect? Like, I'm telling you right now, this rod needs a huge buff or a huge price decrease, or we will riot about the King's rod. All right, shout out all my King's rod supporters out there. And you may think, so what's the last rod? No, I actually have an honorable mention. It's called the Wisdom rod, which I thought I had, but it's bad. And let me explain to you guys why it's bad. All right, this rod is actually really hard to get. Like, it's 50,000. You need a ruby, 2 mythical driftwood, and the magic thread, which is easy to get. But these materials are hard to get. And this rod used to have a use. And the funny thing is, the only use for that rod was literally a glitch you could do with it with its special ability. But basically, its special ability is that, like, every 3 catches, you get like triple XP. Like, there's no reason for that ability to exist on an absolute garbage rod. Like, 10% lure speed, 35% luck, 0.05 control, 2000 max kg. That's horrible. I mean, yeah, here's the passive, 70 to 100% XP bonus. Like, it's just not like anything. This rod's garbage. Just delete it from the game if you're not gonna like buff it. Anyways, the number 1 rod is an OG rod that absolutely needs a buff right now, because there's so many rods better than it right now, and it's the Trident rod. Dude, I used to love this rod. I made like my first couple videos about like how to get this rod, and it's trash. Like, I'm sorry, but it's trash. It takes forever to catch a fish with it. It has horrible lure speed, 0 control, 0 resilience, max kg 6,000. Fish, please do something about this. Make the Trident rod better. All right, that's all I have to say. You guys have a great day, and subscribe if you like this video. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.